Okay, so completely okay, Majid. Yesterday we covered the very basic concept, how Excel look like,
Mm-hmm.
what is the interface, how, we see the rows, the columns. I have the, content. You can see it. I'll share it on, because everyone have some of the question
Okay.
based on yesterday's class. In between, we'll cover. It is not much we have covered. It was more of the introduction of Excel. How does it look like? Where from do we open it? Like we click on a Windows button, then we type Office 365, or maybe if you have Microsoft Excel, any of the version, then you type it and try to open it, right? So how do we open it? What is the title bar? When do we have, multiple options available there, and when do we need to go for that? Yesterday we just covered copy and spatial paste spatial, which is a very basic option which we all are aware of, right? So it's completely okay even if you are starting your class from today. There will not be any confusion in between. If you find any doubt, please do ask. I'll try to answer your query.
Okay. Yeah. I know you'll be teaching SQL. Is he SQL Server?
SQLs is also going to be part of the data analyst course, which we
Okay.
are going to cover later on. First of all, the very basic concept for clearing, how the data set look like, how do we need to prepare a data set, what are the, data types, and how do we need to change the data type, like we have data type available, dates, time,
Okay. Okay.
currency. Yeah. So these are the data type. Text is one of the data type. Number is one of the data type. When you're trying to format a cell, like you have a value, maybe you are going to type 5%, right? So how can you change the, uh, you know, the type, the data type to percent? If you have
Okay.
mentioned 5, it will just look like 5, right? So how can you mention 5%? So there are a couple of things
Okay.
which needs to be, you know clear first before moving ahead on rest of the tools. So Excel is a very best, tool for giving us the understanding
Okay.
for moving further in rest of the tools. Okay, so okay,
Okay.
I'm going to share the file which we prepared yesterday, in
Okay.
case you
Okay.
guys
That'll
have
be
any.
nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you need my email?
Okay, it's completely okay. You can see this. I'm sharing it on a screen,
Okay.
not
Okay.
on a
All right.
email, so it
Thank you.
will be visible to all of you, right?
Thank you.
Sure. Welcome. So guys, this is the file which we have, you know, just as in we had taken some sample name, we had, some of the products available and their cost. So based on this, we just found out that we can copy and paste in a different way. So in case you guys have any question, you can ask me, and then we'll move ahead. Okay. So like we do not have any question on, yesterday, so I'll just still brief you that this is something. This was one of this that which we tried copying and pasting in a different way. So we tried pasting it as a value, like a special paste. This is a value paste. We can do it from here. So these are the forms available. These are the options available. If you will move your mouse from here, you'll get to know how does it look like. So you can copy and try, moving your cursor here. Then you'll get to know this is how it is going to paste. Maybe in a picture form, maybe in the same format how you have copied, or maybe just in a value format, not having any formatting. So from today onwards, we are going to learn how can we format a special, how can we give a specific text a bigger size than usual, or if we want any other formatting as well in our, and keep it here. We have some of the database available here as well. Closing this file for now. I hope the first day file was visible. The file are visible to you. Please do let me know if you're able to see any of the file as of now. Do you see any of data on your screen?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is a very generic database which we prepared yesterday. Today we are going to understand how we are going to move further and how can we format this data. Okay. Yeah. So before moving ahead, cut, copy, paste we had already, cover. Today we are going to cover the format painter as well, as it is going to be a part of our, formatting database. So this always remember guys, before, making any data, you need to have headers of any data. Okay. This is called a data set, what you have just below to the headers. But something which is available in a very first row of your data, that is called header. Okay. In any of the Excel file, like this is something which is kept as bold, right? So this is a header. Without header, there are couple of things which cannot be done. Even if you move further or you prepare, you'll get to see in coming days that we are preparing a pivot table or we are preparing a table. We are giving some of the conditions. Okay. So these, the headers become very very first part before making any of the data set below to it. So we can add few more details here available, okay? But the very first thing is required is a header, okay? How can we format this specific table and how a table can format itself based on a specific condition? We'll get to know that. So just moving ahead, like this is, we know this is our header, and how can we format it? So just in a home tab, the font specific section you'll see beside clipboard, and just beside to that alignment is mentioned and number. So all these things come under format. Formatting, this is from where you will be able to format your specific database. You can change the language, which means the way of the text looking like. I'll just go to this place, and this is where you have all the different font style available. Based on this, you can update your uh, view of your data. So I'll just select Tribute MS. So Tribute Microsoft is one of the font which I'm going to select. This has given me a better look out of the data. Now what did I do? I have bolded. So there are a couple of shortcuts as well which I'll tell you in between. Some of the shortcuts you are already aware of, like copy, Control C, Control V is for paste, and then Control X is for cutting and paste, right? Similarly, in between of our session, we'll keep on talking about these shortcuts as well. Okay. Is it in a other way? Like from here, I am making it quite bigger, so it is looking like, yeah, it is something part, not part of the data set, but it is a header. Similarly, hi, can you hear me?
You going back and forth. So can you adjust your speaker or your internet?
Yeah, is this audible to everybody else? Am I audible? Okay. So just moving ahead, because I'm not sure when did I, so when this is mute. Okay. So now, guys, we have the data prepared with us. I hope you do not have any question, based on the file we had completed yesterday, right? Just in case
Yeah,
if you
we,
guys have
we
any
don't
question
have
based on the file we prepared yesterday, please do.
we don't have problem about that. We're having problem about your network now. We can't hear you clearly.
Do you have any question? Any one of you have any question? Something, any of question which we have, covered based on yesterday files? Copy paste, you can ask in between. Before moving ahead, I'll just give you the example. How can we format our data set? Okay. Whenever we are preparing a data set, we need to have our headers. Before moving ahead, we always need to focus on that what is header. Without headers, like in coming days we'll get to know that pivot tables, many of formattings are there. So these formattings cannot be, done without headers. First of all, headers is one of the identification that what exactly the data is and what kind of values will be there into it. So for an example, if you see here that cost of product is reflecting, without this specific header, you'll not get to know, right? So the header should be, self-identify. So this is something which you need to keep in mind. So today what we are going to cover is how can we format our data set. If you see, or if you are on your laptop, you have the file open on your system, or if you have any, Excel file open on your system, you'll be able to see font is one of the option, alignment is one of the option, number and style. So these are the options which you guys will see for formatting your data set or for formatting your uh, specific table. Okay, so how we are going to do it, like in headers you need to change the font style. If you want, you can give it a bigger size or give it a better look out. How can you do it? You can bold it, italic it, click on these of the buttons for making it underline or for giving any border style. You can similarly go with the theme colors which are available here and give show it as a headers. So this will give you a better uh, view of your headers. This is like how we did it for making your headers looking in a better way. You will see style is one of the option just below to your all ribbons. So if you'll go to home, style is one of the option. If you click on a sale style here as well, you'll be able to see how can you make your headers look in a better way. You have couple of formatting available here. Either you can select these of the headers, or if you want to make your headers by yourself, you can do that too. So this is the basic data what we have. Now we need to understand how can we format it. Okay, how can we align it, like in a very basic format. You'll see all these are aligned, all the text are aligned in a left and all the values are aligned in to right. If you are able to see it, I'll just arrange the columns in a with its width. So now you'll be able to see it. So this is where you have all the data available, but it is aligned in the uh, you know by default way. By default, all the characters are left aligned and all the values are right aligned. So how can you change the alignment of this? How can you merge two different cells? How can you wrap a text if you are having more number of characters and if you wanted to see it in the same cell, even if your width of column is less? So these are the options available in alignment. First of all, covering our font style. From font style, you can change any of the font style which we are aware of. Like it is available in even in Notepad, WordPad, MS Paints. These are the basic tools which we have used. So from here you can change your font style. You can give it a bigger or lesser size for as per your own requirement. For we have some of the buttons for making it lesser or for bigger. Similarly, for your choice, give your a special color. Similarly, when we are making a data, it should look like that it has no error, or it should look in a good way. So how can you do it? Like this data is you are able to see. Now I'm going to make other data and you'll be able to see how alignment works. I'll just take this data and paste it in other sheet. So now you'll be able to see the same data with formatting. Yeah. So for an example, if I'm highlighting this specific file and giving it some of the formatting. So how can I do it? I can press either Control A. Control A is for selecting all what data we have. So it will select the current area. Okay, we can press either Control A. Now we need to use our borders. So if you'll click just below, beside your color filling or beside your underlining data, you'll be able to say bottom border. Okay, so these are the borders are available here. I am choosing this one. Now you'll be able to see this specific data look better than this data. So how did I align it? I have aligned it in this way. Like this is how I have selected from border. I have selected all the borders. You can remove your borders as well. If you see no borders is available, if you have the data available with the borders, you can select no borders. So all the borders will not be there, and they will get removed. So you have couple of options here. You can get a thick border, outside border. You can have all the borders or different border sets are available here. You can use them for making your data in nicer way. So I'll just select all borders. Now I need to get all the values in a center. So similarly, I have this option in alignment. This is how I can do it. Similarly, like left, right, and middle is available. Similarly, if you'll see just above to it, you have upper and middle and all these things are also there. So how you need to understand it? I'll just increase the row size here and explain it to you. All these character are reflecting just below to the cell. How can you make it in a central? Now you have these options. You can make it in this way. Yeah. So you can align these of the text in this way. Similarly, you have format cell alignment option here, which is just available towards it. Format cell alignment. From here, you have a specific dialog box open. In alignment, you can select your, if you wanted to keep it horizontal, center. So is this specific option or the drop down available for keeping it in middle or in upper way or in the lower way. So you can select it from here. So in general, I am keeping it as a general. Verticals, if you wanted to keep it in a center, top or bottom. So the same basic buttons are available here as well. You can use them and keep the formatting as per your requirement. Moving towards how can we uh, you know wrap our text and how can we merge the cells. Just okay, so whenever we have some of the data available and we
Oh,
wanted to have,
Anjay, hold on. What is the meaning of wrap text?
yeah, that is something which I have told. And so you need to focus in this thing. How when you have a more number of character in the same cell. Okay, I'll give you the example. So this is rep text, right? This is where
Okay.
from you'll be able to see. If you click here, if you move your cursor here, you'll be able to see how the example is looking like. Okay, Microsoft Excel is mentioned on very first of cell, and similarly just to below Microsoft Excel mentioned in other cell. So if I give you an example of here and I mention the same thing, Microsoft Excel, do you see it is not fitted, not fitted in the column, right?
Okay.
Because size of the character is more than the size of the column, right? So
hmm
what do you do? You can click on this specific button. If you do so, then based on your, the length of character will, fit into that cell. So this
Okay.
is the use of text. Okay. So this is one option which you need to use if you are not, increasing the size of your column. If you can increase the size of your column from here, you'll be able to see that it is, fine with the space available in the cell, right? So this is one option if you wanted to keep it in this way. So you can wrap your text and then, even if your size of the cell is not that big, you'll be able to see the character completely. Okay. So this
Yeah.
is called rep text. Similarly, merge cell is also work in the same way. So if you wanted to show this specific character on couple of the cells, you can select these of the cells and click on merge and center. So now it become one cell. Okay.
Okay.
Now you can increase the size of it. If so, these thing happens when you wanted to format a specific data. So what we are learning here is how can we format a data type, or how can we format a cell so it has a better view as per our requirement. Okay. So merge and center is the option by which you can get your text in a center as well, and it will merge the cells as well. So now it became one cell. If you'll be able to see, if, in a name box you are able to see K4, right? So before moving ahead, you'll be able to see now. If I click equal, yesterday we know this, right? Equal, and this specific range we are going to select. So it has selected the complete cell. If I press OK, then whatever available in other cell will will be able to see the live changes available in different. For an example, I'm just keeping my name here. If I do so, the other cell value will also get changed, right? So the reason behind showing this example, they like this became one cell, okay? Because of merging it. You can unmerge. If you wanted to unmerge, you can double click here, or you can click on this. Now align it in a proper way. Yes. So you can unmerge the cell in this way. You have two of the option in alignment just towards your alignment of cells available here, from which you can align it by yourself as well. This is how it works. If you wanted to keep it quite in right, a mid in right, or absolute right, or in somehow as per your requirement, you can do that. If you increase the size of the column, you'll be able to see it in a better way. Yeah. So this is how it moves. Okay. Though this specific option is available, usually it is not that required. Usually what is required, left, center, and right. Okay. But still, if you have some of that requirement, you can use these of the two of the functions by which it will move as per your requirement, and accordingly you can fix your data set. So this, I'll just remove it. It is not for use now. I'll remove the rep text and I'll format R cell. How I can do this? First of all, the size of row is quite bigger. So I'll select this sheet. How can I select the entire sheet? Just below to the name box, I have this specific arrow is available, right? Towards your uh sheet, on top of your sheet. So if you click here, you will be able to see that all the entire sheet got selected. From here, you can resize the row. Okay. I hope this is clear.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So now, like yesterday, we had got to know that how can we change the format of a specific cell. Today, we are going to talk more about it. Okay. So whenever you wanted to format a cell, because data type are available in different way, you need to have some dates available in your file. You need to have some, percentage, or some different value formattings are available. So I'll just prepare some of the data, on call, here as only, so you have a better idea about it. I have a name, I have a sales, I have a number of, quantity of product. So by this, we will get to know some of the very basic formula as well. So name, sales, quantity, and the value of product, right? These are the names I'll pick. I'll just copy and paste it here. I'll resize the column. Quantity, I'll just take it. I'll border. I'll give border to it. Either I can click here or I'll just click here. Quantities are available 1, 5, 9, 8. So guys, one more option is available here. Do you see what is the difference between these two cell? What
Hmm?
difference do you see? You see that the size of the character is bigger than the rest of the data. So how can you format it? This is other example. So before moving ahead, I'll give you the example. If your first sale or if you any one of sale is and you are fine with this specific formatting, how we can put the same formatting on rest of the sales. Okay, on rest of the range. So first of all, you need to click on a specific cell you are fine with. Now format painter is the option just below to the copy. Okay, you'll click on this. Okay, whenever you click on this, you'll be able to see the brush is available with your cursor, right? Whenever you're fine with a specific cell, just click on it and go to format painter. Now select the entire range you wanted to format. So this is how you can get the same formatting available on the previous cell. Okay. So in between, uh, whenever you wanted to change this, you have format painter available. For format painter, either you wanted to, you know, go with a normal click as well, and then you can do the formatting, or you have specific shortcuts available for that. If you press Alt key, you will be able to see the shortcuts. Just press the Alt key of your keyboard and then you'll be able to see home for going into home and then for using format painter. So this is specific, all the cases are reflecting here are for going into that specific tab. So the format painter is available into home tab, right? So you'll just press Alt. Now what is reflecting here? H. In home tab you need to use format. So just press H. Now for format painter it is reflecting FP. So I'll just press F and P. See, I have used brush available with my cursor. So this is just a way of using your shortcuts in Excel. So we'll just keep our quantity available here. Value of each product is, we'll keep it as a 50. So how can you drag this if you have the value of, and you need to keep the same value for all these, all these people who got the product. So you can do, you have this cursor available here. You can just click and drag it down. You will have all the value. You do not need to repeat. You do not need to enter the 50 value again and again. If you are fine with the value and the same value will be there for all of the data set, you can just double click and it will have all the cells filled with the same value. I'll just repeat myself. If you have the same value for the product, you'll either double click on this pointer which is available here, or you can drag it as per your requirement as well. See, I am dragging it. If I am requiring it here until here, I can keep it until here as well. If I wanted to keep it till this place, I can keep it till this place as well. Okay. So the value will be there for the entire data. The entire field will have the same value. Okay. Now sales. How can we get uh, you know, the value of the sale? Now sales price. What is the sales price for these of the units? So the basic formula comes in place. Like yesterday, I had started for starting any of the formula, you need to start with equal. Okay. Now for giving a range, you would need to use your mouse. How can you get the sales price? Quantity multiply of that value. So each of one product has a value of 50. So how can you get the complete value of your product based on this quantity? You will multiply these two value, right? So this is the formula of it. If you are not able to see it, I'll zoom it. Please do let me know in between and please be interactive so I get to know if you are able to see it or not. So I am doing it again. You just need to press equal, click it on one of the cell, like I have kept it on a L2. So L2 is nothing but column number L and 2 is name of the row. Okay. So L2 multiply the star uh, key of your keyboard and then value. Okay. Now you can just press enter or you have the right, this enter uh, button available as well. So either you can click on this or you can press just enter of your keyboard. So if I do so, this is giving me the sales price. Now how can I get the formula on these all sales, all of these blank cells? The way of doing it again, using this pointer and dragging it down. Do you see the formula has captured all the values and it is updated based on different values of different cells. How did it happen? You'll be able to see the formula like it is moving to below. Okay. You do not need to change the range every different time. The range is the formula is changing its range automatically. Okay. So this is the one thing what you need to keep in mind if you are working with a formula. Okay. Today we have some of the formula, like the very basic formula we are going to understand how some formula works. If at the end I'll just keep it as a total. Total will give me, I'll keep it as a header. So it has a, yeah, this is a header. I'll give the same a kind of a style here as well for total. Okay. Either I can select it from here or I can give the border by myself as well from here, right? So when it is, these are one and the same options are available. Okay. Today we are going to learn how can we use formula here. The very basic formula. So first of all, the very basic formula which we have got to know is we can multiply these of the values. We can sum the total of it. How do we do it? Like something what you see in a status bar, it's giving you average, count, and sum of these value. When you are selecting it, whenever you'll select a value, this is a place on a status bar you'll be able to see sum, count, and average. Okay. I hope it is visible. Okay. So how can you, get the value by a specific formula? I'll open this formula equal. Now you need to remember this sum. So what is these things? These are name of the function which are available in Excel. Like some of the formula, what formula do we know? We know some of the formulas. One, two, three, four, five. I'll just give an example. Five, four, four, nine, two. What is the basic mathematic formula do we know? We know some formula that we can plus, minus, multiply, and divide, right? So how do we do first of all that thing? Press equal 1 plus 5. Okay. We have the value available. We have the answer available. We can drag this cell down. It is having the answer. Okay. So this is nothing but sum of these two value. The same thing you will be able to see here as well. Okay. So 13 is the answer which you see here. So this is one way of doing it. This is for plus. This is for minus. Well, 5 minus 1. Now you have answer available. So these are the very basic formula. This is how you can do it. This is called formula. Okay. We have this thing called formula, but something what we are using here, equal and sum. This is called function. Okay. Whenever you are able to see, all of these functions are available. You'll be able to see it here. So these are functions of available in Excel file by which you can get your data in a proper way. So I'll sum it. Sum. How do you do it? Equal sum and open the bracket. Equal sum and open the bracket for, this is the basic concept of any of the formula. Whenever you are, opening any of the formula or any of the function, this is how you can use it. Okay. So equal sum, and then you will select the range. This specific range needs to be calculated. Okay. So this is a complete formula. You can see it. It is reflecting as a equal sum. Open your bracket, the range, and close your bracket. So this will give you the value of the quantities. Okay, if you select it, you'll be able to see the sum is reflecting here by Excel as well. It's giving 30, and this is the calculation. This is the way of calculating your formula. Okay, so this is a sum formula. Some formula works in this way. Some formula work in quite different way as well. Like this is how we used plus and minus. Some will also give you the same thing. If I make some of the changes here, I'll just add sum, open my bracket, and then this is how I do it. Still it is working, right? I will drag this formula until down. So the values are same. So I have given you two of the way. Either you can use your sum formula. These are some basic formula plus minus. These works with the sum as well and without sum as well. Okay, plus minus multiplication and dividing. If you are using these of the formula, you can either use it directly or at the end it is already part of your sum formula only. So this is about sum formula. I will keep it as a sum. Okay. There is other formula for counting it. Okay, I will copy this cell, formatting, and use format painter. I'll click here. Again, I can count. How do I count how many values are reflecting here? I'll be able to use a basic formula, count. So count, equal count, like for opening any of the formula, you would need to use just post your syntax, just post your formula function. So count is one of the function. You can either double click. Even if you double click, it will automatically get the bracket open. But ideally you should start with equal and then put your function, then open the bracket. Now you want overall count of this. So how many rows do we see here in the data? One, two, three, four, five. So this five number of values are reflecting. You need to focus on this thing. The count is giving you the count of values. Okay. So what do you see here is name, number of values are available here. So if you select it here, you'll be able to see the count is available here. Okay. But what if you use the count formula here? Would it be able to count the character as well? Just try to see it. This is a count formula and we are trying to run it on the characters. This is the range we are giving, closing the bracket. So because this is giving me an, you know, correction, because I did not close the formula at the end, it is giving that we found a typo, which means an error in your formula and trying to correct it. So try to correct it. So what correction is it giving? It is, adding and closing the bracket. You'll see the difference here. It's closing the bracket. Do you want to accept this correction? I said yes. Okay. So the formula, do you see any of values reflecting here? You do not see a specific value available here. I will just, save this file and open this file again. So guys, is it okay with how did you understand about this sum formula? Did you had any doubt in sum formula?
No?
Okay. So sum formula is a very basic formula. We are trying to come up with formula as well, like count A, average, minimum, and maximum. This will give you a basic understanding how formula works.
Sanjay.
Yes, just a second. I'm trying to share the file for which I need to use for this formula.
Oh, also, are you gonna show us like some PDF or PowerPoint that we can use to revise? Because there's no way we'll remember all these things in our head. But if there's like, documentation that we can
Okay.
always
So
go
I'm
through.
for true that I can understand. So for that you can talk with the management guys here, and if they have something, they'll be able to provide it to you. So these are the files which we are preparing on a daily basis, trying to explain it. It would be better for you guys if you have your system available or if you are working on a laptop. I do understand that all these things
Yeah,
are hard to remember on every different day. You are
yes,
you are trying to get to know
but
a different thing.
yeah,
Yeah,
but you also
yeah.
need a document to go through it
So
once you
if
are trying to revise it.
yeah, so for that you would need to get connected with the management, and they'll be able to provide you the correct answer for this. I hope that is you're okay with that, right?
They have the document to provide, or just get.
Yeah, they have they'll be able to give you the if they have some of the contents available, they'll be able to provide that too. Or if they wanted to go in a quite different way, so you can discuss it, and then I'll also discuss with them and get back to you on this.
Also, what about the updated course content that shows, that I know we are meant to add the Python to it specific for data because we talked about that.
Yeah, I do remember. So for all of these tools, uh, whatsoever idea you get here, and before you know connecting on our next class, I'll be able to give you, I'll discuss it with the management, and you guys also can discuss it, and I'll let you know in our next class about it. Okay? Yeah. So covering to our, count formula, you have seen two of the difference here, like it is available here, and it's giving us the quantity that five number of, counts are available. Okay, but the same thing with where we are trying to do it with the character, it is not working. So what do you need to do if you need to count a character type information? So only one of the change you need to do here is, this is a count formula which will count the values, and other formula we are talking about is count a. You need to just mention a post your this place. Okay, this is nothing but count. If you'll see, count a is reflecting here. Okay, count a, you need to click either here, or you can directly press equal count a. Now open the bracket, select the range, close the bracket, and press enter. Now it is giving you the exact figure. So you need to know all of these formula, which formula works where and how do you need to use them. For calculating your character type information, for counting them, you need to use count A, and for values, you need to count with a count formula. Okay, you'll get to see one more difference here, count. Just in case if we are using this count, and if I increase the range, I am removing this range and selecting this specific range. Okay, until here. Guys, my screen is visible to you guys, or it is not?
Right now, no.
So far it is visible. So far it was visible, right?
Yes. But right now, no.
Right now, not. Okay. Is it visible now?
Coming up, yep, up.
So please let me know in between if you are not able to see it. Okay, because of maybe because of some network, glitch. So I'll reuse this formula count which you have got to know. I'll change the range. How do I do it? I can select it like this. So this complete range I have given in count. Now you see only 15 numbers are reflecting, but overall if you select this area, you see the count available here is 20, right? So why it is giving us a 15? Because it is not calculating the character type information. Okay. Now if you'll use this specific count A, if you sum both of these things, it is giving you a value of 20. But the basic difference between these two function is that count A includes numerical value as well and the character type information as well. Let's try to change this range. Okay. So like it is mentioned K2 to K6, right? This column is K and the rows are available from 2 to 6. I'll change it to column number N. Yes. What do you see here? Complete count. Number of 20. Yeah, 20 number of, character and numerical data is available here. So this is the difference between count and count A. Okay, I'll just press it, click it here, and I'll give the name count A. Okay. So this is the benefit of counting it. This is the sum formula. Like we have used this formula, we have other formula. How can you count blank? So sometime, many of the time, like this example, what we have, if we need to count it, I'll just resize this column. Yeah. How do you use blank values? I'll just remove this data or this value from here, any of value from here. So just trying to apply the formula here with count. Well, count. What will it count? Will count the values, right? Now, how do we need to count our blank files? So for that, you will be able to see count blank. Can you do this if you have your system or if you have your laptop available? Just press equal. I'm closing the sheet for now. Just press equal. Use count, equal and count. Are you able to see count blank option? Any one of you, are you able to see count blank is one of the formula reflecting on your, if you have the latest version downloaded on your Excel, so it must be reflecting there. Do you see count blank?
Yes, I see it.
Okay. So how can you count it? See, as of now, you are able to see the count is giving us the information of that these are overall 11 number of values are available. But overall, if we need to add these values, I mean, overall number of, cells as well. So how can you do it? You have one option that you can use it with a count blank equal count blank is one of the formula available here. So when we are trying to cover count, so these are the very basic formula: count, count A, and count blank. Count is for giving you the number of values. Count A is for number of character, and count blank is for the blank cells. Okay. If I select this specific area here, oh, count blank. Okay. I will press. I do not need to type a complete count blank here. If this specific formula is reflecting, I can press tab, one of the button on your keyboard. Tab is one of the button if you use for any of the formula like sum, SU, and if you have this function, select it, you can press tab. Okay, the bracket will get open automatically, and you do not need to, write it completely. So I'm doing it for count blank, and selecting these, pressing enter. So what do you see here? It's giving you
Um,
the number blank, right?
yeah, it's
Only three.
counting everything. No, it's
Sorry?
counting everything, including the blank.
Yeah. Is it reflecting to you like three of the cells are reflecting as blank, or it's not reflecting to you?
Yeah, it's reflecting from 7 to 9.
Yes, from 7 to 9, right? So this will
Yeah,
give you the, the number of blank.
yeah, your formula is not working.
I'll give you. How does it reflecting, and why is it not giving?
Network, network is bad.
Yeah, the network is quite bad today. It's rainy. It's raining here. You'll be able to see it now. Do you guys see here? Do you guys see count blank is giving us four numbers? Why? Because we have selected the entire range. So wherever we do not have any value, that is the number it's giving, right? From the range. If I reduce the range, see, giving is three. So count blank, count and count. This is something what we get to learn. Uh, sum is one of the formula, count is other formula, count A is other formula. So count A is going to give us the value of all the, data type, whether it is a character type data or values. Okay. Similarly, you have other options of, you know, going for some basic formula, max and minimum. So maximum will give you the top value of your, data set. This is giving me 9, right? I'll just mention it as a maximum. So why it is giving us a 9? Because it is the biggest value in our data set. If I click here and come with it, like 10 is available, right? So it is giving me the maximum. So you need to remember these of the formula. These are the very basic formula which are very much, required in Excel file whenever you're trying to calculate any of the information, for preparing any of the advanced dashboards, for preparing any of the, you know, uh, a summary, you would need to require, use this specific formula for giving the basic understanding. Okay. So maximum is giving you the biggest value of your data. If I use triple one here, the value will get changed. Okay. So all of these formulas are getting updated. 137 is reflecting in your sum. If I use this as 10, so the numbers are, changing. So these are, the basic formula which we have, you know, discussed today. Sum, count, count is, and max. Similarly, like the biggest value is provided, you have minimum value also available. So how can you do it? You have a formula which is called min. Okay, min is going to give you the lowest value. Maximum is going to give you the biggest value. Okay, equal min. So minimum. If you try to see this specific information, or see the definition of it, you will be able to see, return the smallest number in the set of values. Ignore logical, and so you do not need to ignore this specific thing. Returns the smallest number in the set of value. So what are the set of values do we have? This is the set of value. I'll just either press enter or close this bracket and press enter. It is giving me the lowest value of my data. This is the data set what we are trying to use in the formula. Okay. this specific data what we are using in all of these formulas. For count A, we have used entire the data set. For count, again, we have used entire the data set. For maximum and minimum, we are using only this specific field. So you can focus on it. Minimum is providing us the lowest value. If I do not have, if I have for an example, which is the other lowest value post 1. So we have 7 is other lowest value, but it is giving me the minimum one. If I put it like 1 8, 18 is the bigger than 7. So if I do so, 7 is the other minimum value, right? As of now, based on this data set, 7 is the minimum value. So it's providing me this one. So these are the very basic formulas which are required for performing any of the calculation activities. There is other formula as well which we have got to learn is count blank. Count blank is giving us the values of having no value into it. Well, count blank. How will it calculate only the blank range, whichever you have given? Based on this example, 3 is the value. Okay. So these are the formula which we have covered today. We have covered how can we format a specific data set. And this is all for today. In case you have any question based on today's and yesterday class, you have 5 minutes. You can ask, and it's done for the day. We can wind up today's call. Please do join tomorrow the call on. So we'll have to. So can you please tell me what have been discussed between you and the management, whether it is going to be uh, week off on Friday and Saturday and Sunday, or it is going to be a continuous class?
You have to decide that and tell us if it's gonna be
Okay,
just
so it has not been
work
told to
week.
you yet, right?
No.
No,
Okay,
not yet, but most likely maybe Monday to Fridays or something. I don't know. I don't know,
okay,
but they've not told us anything yet. Most likely that.
sure. This has not been told to you before, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So do you guys have any question based on today's class? Based on the very basic formulas?
So count A is for characters, like name, but you can't use count. Can you use count A for numbers?
Yes, count is for the values,
Count A.
count A is for all of the information. Either it is character or for the
Hmm.
values.
Okay. All right.
If you see, the same range is selected in count as well and in count as well. But count is giving us the values of the text as well. Okay. Count blank, based on this specific range, it is giving us three of the cells are blank. So this is giving us a count. You have 2 more minutes. You please let me know whatsoever question you have. I'll answer them before moving on our next class as well. If we do, our next class. So on our next class, we'll cover, you guys can ask question based on today's class. Then only we will move ahead. If you do not have any question, if you have any question, we'll try to sort them out first, and then only we'll move.
Yeah, no questions for me.
Okay, okay. So it's okay. We are done with today's class, and just be on a call for 1 more minute. You'll get to know about whether the class will continue for tomorrow or not, or it is going to be week off on Saturday and Sunday. So let's continue our classes on Monday onwards. Please be ready with your question. Will be available on 8 o'clock on Monday. Please practice for half an hour whatsoever we are trying to cover in our class. Then only we'll get to know uh what based on your practice only you'll get to know where you are sticking in between. Okay, so please do practice. Give it some time between, at least, because this is a basic what we are covering, so you would not need to give more than half an hour. You can cover all of these things which we are telling or which we are covering in our daily classes. Please practice them, and let me know if you have any question. Let's continue on Monday. Really, thanks for your time. Bye bye.